Hello, everybody, and welcome to Augsburg College. Wally Shaver along with Brian Sostek for the first ever World Cup. And Brian, what's really unique about this, it's truly an international event. We have 11 teams here representing 6 countries from around the world, and what a phenomenal event it's been.
A bunch of us friends met out at a summer camp, and we played wheelchair hockey out there for many years. Almost more by chance, we ended up finding out about it being played in Europe. A friend of mine wrote the first letter to find out more, and we ended up getting invited to a tournament in Germany. So 6 of us friends trying to make it to Germany, and we raised the money on our own and had an incredible time. And from that point on, we knew we wanted to try and help develop something or find something more. And that's when we ended up finding about the CEWHA, the Canadian organization. And they had national tournaments. We saw them doing it in Canada. We knew we could do it in the U.S. So we just started our own nonprofit organization, and ever since then, I've been developing plans for the Power Hockey World Cup.
There's a breakaway, 2-man breakaway now. Cram going in. Stick down, he scores! First score of the game.
Well, it evolved from, I guess, Musco Dystrophy Summer Camp. That's where we saw most of the guys come from. I think we wanted to expand it beyond that. I think we wanted to take it to a different level, bring it to the masses, bring it to everybody.
Cram doing a fine job to break it up. Salmon's trying to carry on, following him from behind. Reekinen backhanding it around for Matikainen. Matikainen has somebody in front. They score! The stop shot.
I think, in a way, it brings people in wheelchairs to a different light because people get to see that they can play sports, that they can be just as competitive as the professional athletes, or just as competitive as the other club level sports and stuff like that.
We think it helps this portion of the disabled community. There's a lot of guys or girls that never had an opportunity to really get out and socialize with friends and hang out, and through the league they find all of that. I mean, even things like learning how to play in a competitive league helps people.
I think that being part of the team really brings the guys together, and I mean, even this experience, the ones who aren't necessarily always part of those that do socialize probably will a lot more.
At the beginning of each tournament, it's like everyone's here to compete and everyone speaks to their team only, but halfway through the tournament you begin to learn and understand other players and their feelings, and you go and talk to them. You know, I've never had that opportunity before to see that many countries come together and be social.
Minneapolis, host city of this groundbreaking sports event and home to most of the game's founding fathers. Tournament organizer, Craig McClellan.
In our tournament, we believe that there should be a classification of players. You have level 1, which are your really physically strong upper body player. Your level 2, which is kind of the middle of the ground, somebody who they might be able to hold on to their own hockey stick, but cannot do a whole lot with it. And then level 3s are persons that either tape the hockey stick to their chair, or if they do hold it, they entirely rely on the strength of their wheelchair. to move the ball.
11 teams represented 6 different countries, which offers the players a rare glimpse into disabled culture from around the globe. Australian Tim Dixon.
It's different, but we've assimilated pretty well in Australia, and we're pretty much treated very well in Australia at the moment. There's a very low percentage employed. I'm one of the ones that are employed. I'm a paralegal at Crown Law, which is like America's Federal Attorney General's office for Queensland, for the state of Queensland. So I think team sports in particular is very important for disabled people to get involved in, because we don't have the opportunity at the moment to go down to our local sporting club and join a team or something like that. So I would say yes, this is a great opportunity for especially young kids to get involved in team sports. Yeah, we see each other a lot. We're a very social bunch. These sort of events actually bring us out in the community more and help us assimilate more, because people can see that we can play hockey and we can do stuff like that. So I would say these events do more to contributing to people being mixed in with normal society than not.
For 4 days, these men and women put on a show of strength, skill, and grace. It was all capped off with an exciting shootout between hometown favorite, the St. Paul Saints, and the Canucks from Ontario. After goalie Sarah Heinz proved herself as insurmountable as the Swiss Alps, it all came down to Pittsburgh native Joe Sullivan and Ontario goalkeeper Bridget Galbraith. Despite a heroic effort, St. Paul would finish in 9th place, thereby missing the medal round.
Most of the athletes in power hockey have been victimized by muscular dystrophy, about 65–70% of them.
Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, a degenerative disease that mercilessly attacks most of the body's muscle groups. Life expectancy, anywhere between 18 and 32 years.
Bill Adams was a friend of mine that actually did the first contact for us. Phil was big time into hockey, and me and him would go to hockey games a lot. Phil passed away before we were even able as a team to go to our first tournament, and we knew even back in the beginning we would name something after him. And then also Lee Newton was a member of our original team. Lee was a guy we knew from camp where we all met, and then unfortunately passed away about 2 or 3 months after our trip. Those two, Phil and Lee, were definitely our original team members. We just knew we were going to name some of our best trophies after both of them.
I talk about perseverance. The Calgary goalie, Mike Jorgensen, who's one of the top second-ranked goalie in the tournament, is on a ventilator. You can actually see him. He's playing with an oxygen supply. That's some fortitude.
Some might think that creatures as frail as these would shy away from anything so aggressive. They would be mistaken. This was best illustrated by Minnesota forward Luke Peterson.
And going over
Luke
was
Peterson.
Luke Peterson. And everybody out there hurriedly as he went tumbling over very hard on his left side.
These chairs weigh an awful lot. Looks like Luke Peterson is nodding his head. He looks all right. Megan McClellan, Craig McClellan's sister, one of the principal organizers here, is checking on him and seems to be...
Although shaken,
that's a good sign.
Peterson let his instinct take control and stayed in the game.